We are back for another episode, episode number 85 of Hip Talk Fanatics. I'm here with my co-host Chris Cohen. What's up, Chris?
Not much, doing good. Excited to be back. A lot has happened for both of our
Yeah,
teams, especially, but the whole sport.
yeah, definitely. How you been doing?
Pretty good. Just been chilling, working, living, enjoying some
Yeah,
basketball. Been at a lot of fun games since
nice.
we've done an episode, so it's gonna be interesting. Got a big one this Saturday.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that one.
I'm uh, I'm booking a Princeton basketball game this Saturday, but there's a potential snowstorm that's supposed to hit us,
Oh dang,
so expecting like 3 to 5 inches.
dang.
But hopefully it's we can go.
Yeah, enough to go. There you
Yeah,
go. That'll be a fun one though. I won't be at KU State this weekend, but
yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
So I wanted to start off talking about Villanova's defeat against DePaul last night, 59-49. Um, I felt like the Blue Demons definitely caught up with the Wildcats last night, especially in the early going. They shot pretty well. And Eric Dixon was slow shooting. I think he started the game 1 for 6, and then he started to get hotter as the game went on. But the three players that looked great offensively for the Wildcats were Jordan Argino, Eric Dixon, and Tyler Perkins. They were both all, all well, and I just felt like they were the nucleus of this team last night, and I'm very anxious to see how they respond to the win against DePaul against Xavier on Saturday, uh, which will be at South Philly at the Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one Saturday.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned it, being able to win a game, it's a game they should win. Because I think when Dixon struggled a little bit this season, it hasn't been pretty for them.
Hmm.
And I mean, it seemed like it was kind of an ugly game last night, but they found a way to win, and that's what matters. Because they haven't found a way to win that many games recently, so being able to get that one's pretty big for them. And Xavier's a good team, and their
Yeah.
game, I don't remember exactly how it went down, but I know their first meeting was pretty close. I believe Xavier won a close one
I think
a few weeks ago.
Conwell went off last game.
That sounds right. But yeah, it's a winnable one. Yeah, Xavier won by 6. It looks like yeah, Conwell
Was,
30,
was that game?
30,
Was that game?
34 for Conwell.
I forget. Was that game at Nova?
Yeah, no, that was at Xavier.
Oh
So
yeah.
you're out
Oh
this
yeah.
time.
The
Yeah,
Centos Center.
damn. Conwell at 30. Yeah, Conwell 34. And yeah, it's you're not gonna be if a guy's scoring 34 on you, it's gonna be tough to
Yeah.
win those games, no matter how good you are elsewhere. So I mean obviously that's priority one
Hmm.
in this matchup. Don't let that happen again. But Xavier has some other good players that can kind of present some problems. So I mean
It was
Fremantle
definitely
has done some things, but
it was
they
definitely
got
a low scoring game at halftime in last night's DePaul Nova game. It was only 29-26 at the half, which
didn't
DePaul
pick
was
up much in
down.
the second half either.
Yeah. Um, in the second half, Nova answered with a 15-8 run over about 9 minutes uh, to lead 49-40 with and Eric Dixon just was locked in the last 8 minutes of the game and completely turned around his performance.
That's a big one. Yeah, if he just continues to do that late. Like you mentioned, like the stats, like I think he was like you said he started really slow. I think he was like 4 for 14, 4 for 15 shooting total. But it's like even like he's not gonna be able to score. Like he might still be leading the country in scoring. I haven't checked recently, but either way, he's one of the best players in the country, best scorers.
Mhm.
He's not. You're not gonna have your best stuff every night. But when they have a game like this against the team they should beat, he's got to at least make a couple plays down the stretch, and that's what he did. And
I
shout out
I actually
to
sorry to interrupt.
I
uh,
just did good.
I didn't get the chance to see the first half of that game, but because I was too locked into the Sixer game,
Nice, nice.
and and then once the Sixers game got bad, I just turned it off and then put on CBS Sports Network.
That's fair. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. So next up, we have your Kansas Jayhawks. You can talk about their big time in the quote of your saying, Iowa State sucks.
The what?
Oh, I was just saying your quote,
What do you?
your text, Iowa State sucks.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did say that. You for some reason it was cutting out a little bit, but I just heard Iowa State sucks. I didn't. Okay, no, dude. Yeah, it was because I don't know how much you've watched in the season. I've watched them a lot. I watched them in non-conference a decent amount. They were really impressive. Um, the defense is still really good for them, but just the offense was really. I didn't get a chance. So they lost to Kansas State at home by like 20, and it was really interesting kind of how they did that. They just really struggled and then offensively in this game they they just weren't good at all. Like I felt like it was so easy for Kansas defensively. They were able to switch a lot of pick and rolls, and like most teams are able to take advantage of Hunter Dickinson in those pick and rolls. But like none of their guards can attack the basket, get downhill and score. They're like side to side. Their bigs were okay. They out offensive rebounded pretty well, but it's just like nothing came easy for Iowa State on offense, and I think it's pretty concerning moving forward for them. I'm interested to see how they respond. I need to look who they play this weekend, but
Mhm.
it was really the offense was just really disappointing. They still do a lot of good things defensively, and they're without their best shooter, Milan. I don't remember the butcher's last name, but Milan. He's a really good shooter, and he adds something for them. But like, just they still don't have the guys to like put pressure on the rim for the ball handlers, and I'm really interested to see how they do. They didn't shoot the ball well, and they definitely had some chances to do that. But I think their offense is a big concern moving forward, and they need a spark. And Curtis Jones has been that guy for them in a lot of ways, but he's kind of struggled a little bit recently. I don't know if he was more comfortable in the six-man role. I mean, he was, but it I mean, it's just gonna be tough for them. All good teams go through some slow spurts, though, so I think they'll be okay. But they have a lot to figure out on the offensive end of the floor still moving forward.
So will you be attending their next game, home game?
For I will not. So I'll be at Kansas State, Arizona Tuesday,
Mhm.
and then I have two more Kansas games, two more Kansas State games. I'll be at. I will be at Iowa State plays against Kansas State early March. I'll be at that one, so I'll get to see Iowa State
Mhm.
again. See, kind of. I assume they'll come out pretty motivated to beat Kansas State on the road. I believe it's the season finale, regular season finale. So I'll be at that one. And then
Mhm.
I don't remember the teams I watch from Kansas plays because I know they play Colorado at home still, and I won't be at that one. But I think maybe Texas Tech was later. A couple. I have Tuesday, and then I have a few games late February, early March to wrap it up. But excited, both teams. A lot to look forward to. But yeah, Kansas State this weekend. it's a big one. Kansas State is playing. I mean, from all the numbers and the metrics, they're playing as good as any team in the country the past few games, which is a small sample size compared to a season where they were just atrocious for 3 months. But it's a dangerous team. They played Arizona State Tuesday, I believe. They were down 17-0 with it took them like 9 minutes to score, but then they were able to find a way to win that game on the road, which Arizona State's not a great team, but that's down 17-0, you're able to bounce back, get a big win, and they're playing really good basketball, and Kansas hasn't been playing their best basketball. I mean, a good win Monday, but Kansas State has a really good chance Saturday.
So next up, I wanted to cover DePaul briefly. I know they secured their 14th win of the season on the 29th of January, which was in overtime against East Carolina. I didn't get to watch this game, but I saw Jamal Mashburn definitely had an unreal performance, scoring 32 points, and Steve Settle had 7 points in overtime, and Mashburn shot 10 for 16, 2 for 3 at the 3-point range. So Tepper sophomore guard Quantai Berry had 8 for 12 and 21 points, and it was just an all-around great victory for them. And as we speak, they are playing on ESPN2 at the moment against South Florida. I was watching some of the game before we went on live, and they were off to a slow start.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It looks like I see Mashburn's not playing tonight. Not sure. So that's just he's kind of the focal point of what they do. So it's going to be tough for them to win, to beat good teams without him.
They have to travel to Memphis Super Bowl Sunday.
Hopefully Mashburn can go for that one.
Yeah. And then they are back at Temple next Wednesday against Tulsa.
Nice little stretch for them, but yeah, Mashburn against that Memphis backcourt would be a lot of fun. So hopefully he can go.
I think that game is national televised.
Yeah, it's definitely those Sunday games for Memphis are probably ESPN2.
It's a Sunday matchup.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
I think it might be at like 2 p.m.
Yeah. 2 p.m. Eastern, ESPN2. We go where Memphis is really good.
Yeah.
They went through a little weird stretch earlier in the year, but they beat some good teams. I see Temple got him the first time. Mashburn had 21. They had some good contributions from a lot of guys, so I think it'll take a whole team effort to win that on the road for them.
So next up, I wanted to cover as well 13-9 St. Joe's. Started off the month against Loyola Chicago, losing to them 58-55. Sheldon Edwards scored 12 points to lead Loyola Chicago, and Jaden Dawson sealed the victory for them with a free throw in the last second of the game. And I saw Eric Reynolds finish with 17 points, 3 steals for the Hawks. Xavier Brown added 14 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And Rasheal Fleming had 12 points, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks. And this is a deep squad this year in the conference, and I'm anxious to see what the rest of the season looks like for them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of what they do moving forward. They got some good stuff, so excited. A10 basketball is always fun to watch. I'll have some big games coming up.
So got any games on your mind?
Trying to think off the top of my head. There's a couple. We got a few big ones this Saturday. I haven't even looked at the Big 12 schedule perspective. I mean, other than Kansas State, I think Duke Clemson's going to be phenomenal. I mean, I think this was the one game all season that I thought Duke could lose in conference. The ACC is really weak, and if they're going to lose one, it's at Clemson. Clemson's been playing okay. They lost recently. They lost against Georgia Tech, and I mean they've won most of their games. They've lost 2 ACC games, so like Clemson's a really good team. So I think they could get Duke. So I'm really interested. That's probably one of my favorite games of the weekend. There's a couple of others. Oh yeah, that's Friday. That's why I didn't see it. St. John's against UConn. It might be, I think, the game of the weekend still coming up for us. St. John's has been playing really good basketball, and UConn's been kind of finding their groove mostly recently. They've had some injuries, so they've lost some. They've lost a few though, and St. John's might be the best team in the conference, I think, and this is kind of the game for them to prove it if they want to do that. But I mean, St. John's has won a lot of games in a row. I think they have one of the longest winning streaks.
What were your thoughts on the Rutgers win last night?
That was a big win for Rutgers. I wish they were going to be. I was hoping they were going to be a little better this season, but Illinois is a good team. That's a big win for them. I mean, Harper had 28. They just don't have a lot outside their main guys, but I mean, they got to stack wins somehow. They're not in a, They really don't have a chance for the NCAA tournament unless they really just go on a big run. But they have the talent that they're going to be able to win a couple games like they did last night and pull a couple upsets if they get the chance. So they're a ton of fun to watch. But hopefully they can build on that and get some momentum going.
What quiz has you next?
They have. I just saw. They have Maryland. They have Maryland Sunday morning, early Sunday. So that'll be interesting.
Maryland is pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, Maryland's really good. They've won a few games in a row. They're playing at Ohio State right now. So it'll be interesting to see how that game goes.
How's that game going?
I think Ohio State's up, but it's pretty early in that one.
Yeah.
It's like 18. Oh, no, Maryland's up. I read that backwards. Maryland's up 25-15. About midway through the first half.
What games are you most interested to see the next couple of days?
Take a look. I mean, Big 12 doesn't really have a lot of big games coming up. Yeah, the matchups are kind of. I mean, Kansas can't say it's a great one, but there's not a lot outside of the Big 12.
I'm really hoping the Trojans can stay with Purdue tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so too. I don't feel great about their chances, but we'll see. Because that would be fun.
And we also have a Big East clash between St. John's and UConn tomorrow night.
That's going to be an epic game.
Yeah. That game is at Connecticut.
Nice. Yeah, that's a big game for them.
For this weekend, we have Michigan State, Oregon. That should be a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, that's a good one. Auburn, Florida those are two of the best teams in the country, so I'm excited for that game.
Carolina plays Cam Jones this weekend also.
Dang, that's a big matchup.
Yeah.
Creighton's still a really good team.
Florida.
Dang, they've won. They haven't lost since they played Marquette last.
Florida, Auburn, Texas A&M, Missouri.
SEC has crazy games every weekend. That conference is just
Alabama,
loaded.
Arkansas.
Arkansas has been starting to play a little bit better.
Yeah.
They've won a few in a row,
What
I
do you think
think.
about the Texas Tech Arizona game?
Texas Tech's really good. I think Arizona's been playing a lot better, though.
Mm-hmm.
But Texas Tech is really good. I mean, Texas Tech beat them by 16 on the road. So I think at home in Lubbock, you got to think Texas Tech can get it done. Wait, no. Texas Tech was home last game, actually. So but Texas Tech's, I mean, they might be the two hottest teams in the conference, two of the best teams in the conference, I think. Arizona started, their non-conference was just really bad, but they're playing really good basketball recently. So I feel good about them moving forward. And Texas Tech, I don't think they've lost since I watched them play Kansas State a few weeks ago, and they played really poorly.
Mm-hmm.
But they hung on because Kansas State didn't make a shot like the last 6 minutes. So Texas Tech won by a few points. That was mid-January, and they haven't lost since then. They lost a game before that against Iowa State in a heartbreaking fashion, and they've won a lot of games in a row.
Are you going to be at K-State this weekend?
I will not be there. I'll be watching on TV. That'll be a big one. Yeah. But yeah. Texas Tech's one of the most underrated teams in the country to me. They have just a lot of big wins. I mean, at Houston's as good a win as anybody has in the country. And now you got a chance to go at Arizona and get another win. And yeah, they're a special team. I really like Graham McCaslin leading the way. JT Toppin's a stud. He's been dominant for them. I like their guard play. It's just gonna be a fun match. That's gonna be a fun matchup. I hate the bad thing about all these Pac-12 teams coming to the Big 12 is these tip-offs are so late at night to stay up till midnight watching the end of them. But that game might be good enough; it'll be worth it.
Speaking of late night games, I stayed up to watch the Utah State game the other night.
Dang, Utah State's pretty good.
I think they played Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah.
Utah State's good.
Yeah. Oh, actually, my bad. It was BYU.
Oh, BYU Arizona.
Yeah.
That game was really late. I think that might have been 11 Eastern tip.
Yeah, it started at like 11:10.
Yeah, that was a late one.
Yeah.
BYU's been interesting this season, but they're decent. I mean, losing that coach and losing a lot of guys, they weren't going to be great.
What's the Kempon rank?
Not sure. Probably in like the 50s, if I had to guess. Maybe 40s. Actually, they're probably higher than that. Besides Arizona, they've taken care of and beaten who they probably should have. They've won a few in a row, actually. They beat Baylor. I don't remember that game. I feel like I should. I don't know. They beat Baylor in overtime, and I don't remember that game. That was pretty recent. So they've won a few in a row. So they are playing better than I'm giving them credit for. But yeah, a lot of good hoops in the Big 12, though. I don't think it's. I don't know. It's a little less deep. I guess when you add more teams to conference, there's a few more teams that are just really not good, but still a really good conference.
For an update, in the Temple game, with 5 minutes left, it's tied at 33.
There you go. Just keep playing ball, see what happens.
Yeah. So, got anything else?
I think that's all of it.
Should be a hectic couple of days, especially Saturday, with some great games that are happening, and I'm excited to do our next episode. It's to be determined, but we'll definitely chat over the weekend or some point next week to plan out another episode.
Yeah, so a lot of good games over the next week or two to discuss. So there'll be no shortage of big games.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it.